Welcome to Discovering the Law. My name is Lucy Rivera and I am the host of this program. This program can be viewed at www.discoveringthelaw.com, and segments of this program can be viewed there, and you can view other segments. But today we have very special guests from the Massachusetts Academy of Trial Attorneys. We have first the Executive Director, Attorney Paul Dullea, and we also have the President of the Academy, Tim Kelleher. Welcome to the program. Thank you for coming. Please tell us about the Massachusetts Academy of Trial Attorneys.
The Mass Academy of Trial Attorneys is made up of attorneys from across the state who represent plaintiffs in civil cases. The mission of the Academy is to preserve and improve the American civil justice system, to protect the rights of individuals and their families, and to help improve our legal system and the legal profession.
And about how many members are there in the Academy?
We have about 1,100 members. We have members in every county in the Commonwealth. Our members are all over the state and they're very active.
So sometimes we even have the opportunity to go to Springfield. We have members all the way on the Cape. So we're really fortunate to have people all across the Commonwealth representing us.
It's a statewide organization. And what sort of objectives do you have? What things do you do at the Academy?
Well, we do a lot of different things. One of the things that we do is we try to work with our members to improve the educational process, to help them to learn about new developments in the law. We are very active in legislation up at the State House. We're up there testifying in support of bills that help individuals and their families and opposing bills that would be bad for them. We're always trying to improve the legal system. We also are very active out in the community, volunteering our time in many different programs to try to help communities and improve education and what's going on out in the cities and the towns.
Very interesting. So I know Paul is one of the lobbyists. He's registered to do this kind of objectives. Talk to us about the goals or the issues that the Academy is behind, or sponsors.
A lot of what we do is to we want to maintain access to the court system for people who have been injured. And Tim is one of our volunteers. This year he's serving as president, but he's served in almost every capacity so far that the organization has, including our legislative chair. And year after year, we keep an eye on all of the activities at the State House, and it's really important for us to ensure that the jury system stays active in Massachusetts and that people have access to the civil justice system. So there's a lot of things that come up, and Tim and others in the organization are really integral in kind of getting our voice heard and looking out for the individuals and consumers in Massachusetts.
So tell me about that. One of the particular issues that you've presented me with today, it's this banner about distracted driving. Tell me about this objective of the Academy of Trial Attorneys.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to do was to promote a program that's called End Distracted Driving. I got involved in the program through a man named Joel Feldman. He lost his daughter to a distracted driver. And he's a trial lawyer out of Pennsylvania, and he started a program where he goes to local high schools and educates students about the dangers of distracted driving. He created the program. He's an inspirational person, and I talked to him about the program and decided to make it a priority of my presidency this year. And what we've done is we've brought Joel up here. We kicked off the program at the State House, and we've gone to high schools and presented the program to them. It's a very interactive program, and it's been going very well.
And so tell us about how are the students in the high schools reacting to this program, and expand us to how is MATA promoting this?
Sure. Well, you know that teenagers aren't always the easiest people to reach. Their attention span, like all of us, sometimes can be short. So, so Joel Feldman, the person that designed this, really went to work and designed a program that was highly interactive and that wasn't preachy and doesn't lecture to teenagers, because that's the quickest way to get them to stop listening to you is to lecture to them. So Joel came up with a lot of, with an interactive presentation. He involves the students in it. Tim has been involved in a number of these, and you know, there are different ways to engage the students, and it's really worked pretty nicely.
Yeah, it's a great program.
So tell us about how is MATA working to fight the distracted driving? Are you by lobbying or promoting legislation? What are your plans in terms of this?
Yeah, well, we've supported legislation, but really our objective has been to get out in the community and to reach out to the students, because students are the ones who are going to change the culture. If you get the students to understand that they shouldn't drive when they're distracted, then it's going to, I always compare it to seat belts. When we were younger kids, people didn't always wear their seatbelt. Now there's been a change in the culture, and people do wear their seatbelts. And what we're trying to do is reach out to the students in the schools, because they're the ones who are going to bring about a change and who are going to end distracted driving. As trial attorneys, unfortunately, we see the heartbreaking results of motor vehicle collisions and what can happen. And we're trying to prevent that from ever happening. So in looking at it, we think that the best way to go about it is to get into the high schools, talk to the students about it, present the program, which is, like Paul said, very interactive. And we present some videos that address some of the issues. We talk to them, we get them engaged, we ask them questions, they answer. And I think when they leave there, they have a better understanding of what the problem is. And we don't tell them what to do. We just give them the information so they can make their own decision about what they want to do. And we hope they bring it home and they talk to their parents about it, because unfortunately, we've reached an epidemic level with distracted driving. And the people who look away from the road, whether it's to text or to talk on the phone or to grab something to eat, they're all good people. They just make a terrible mistake, and as a result, some horrible things happen, and we're trying to prevent those things from ever happening. So through the students, we're hoping they'll change their ways, and we're hoping that they'll talk to their parents, and they'll change their ways, and it'll bring about a change, and it's, you know, it's a long-term goal, and we have many members who have been participating in the program and have been terrific, like Jim Brady and Rhonda Maloney and Saba Hashem, and great trial lawyers throughout the state who are really, really doing a good job presenting the program.
And you've given some examples as to what distracted driving is about. Tell us about how first, is this the first year you're going to do this program, or you do plans to continue it? Will this be a wide campaign? What are your plans for it?
This is the first year. We kicked it off at the State House. We had a hearing where we presented what the program was all about, and we asked legislators to invite us to their communities. We asked teachers at high schools to invite us to their communities. We told them what it was all about. We had Joel come up here, and then we went to Medford High School and we kicked it off, and it was very successful. It was a great program. It was the students were engaged. They loved it. We had the superintendent involved. There were some interactive skits that we do. We bring students up. The videos are tremendous. We also released that day the public service announcement for Massachusetts. In that public service announcement, you have a young woman who was driving her car, and she looked away for a minute to do something with her GPS, and she hit a man, and he died. And in that public service announcement, she talks about it, and she talks about looking away for just a few seconds. And then a young woman named Emily Stein comes on, who was the man who died's daughter. And it's a very powerful public service announcement that has been released in Massachusetts. And it is something that I hope every student could see, because I think it will make a difference.
And this man's daughter, Emily, has really shown a lot of courage by coming out with us even to some of the schools to speak to students and standing up there. And she, you know, like anybody, isn't necessarily used to going up in front of 500 students, and she's done a great job and really has told her story in a way that the students will really listen. And I think that what really has lent credibility to this effort is the volunteers like Tim and Saba and some of the other ones they acknowledge that this is a problem that it's not just a young person problem. It's a problem that adults all have, and we've all done it. I've done it. Tim's done it. We all have, we all have seen people doing it, and I think it's not don't do as telling students do as we say, not as we do type of thing. It's really acknowledging this is everybody's problem. We know that this goes on, and we know that your parents do, and we ask kids, can you raise your hand if your parents ever do this? And they all do, and they all explain, like, sometimes her mother is, putting on makeup, or the dad is, eating, or somebody's, crazy things, and it could be presented in an engaging, funny way sometimes even, but it's a serious topic, and the students really, hopefully, a lot of it is they're taking it to heart, and I know a lot of the volunteers are, because it really does make you think differently after seeing this presentation. And
with so many distractions now, is your campaign, your change campaigns on a yearly basis, or do you plan to have this campaign also next year?
I see this as a long-term project that will go on, hopefully for a number of years, because I think we need to change the culture. I think it's going to take years to do it. I believe that I know that I intend to continue with the program, and Matta does also. And I'm hoping 5 years from now there will be a complete change in the culture as all these students come up, these young drivers, and they help to bring about a change. So this is a long-term project, and Matta is committed to it.
Yes. I was going to say, so Tim will be wrapping up his presidency in a few months, and we wish we could keep him forever, but we can't. But we have another great president lined up, Mike Conley, and he's committed to this program as well. He was at the opening kickoff that we had at the State House, and it's very important to him. And it's really something that develops a momentum of its own. Once one school hears about it, another school wants to do it, and like Tim referenced, some of the state legislators have been really supportive of it, and they want to bring it to their constituents because it is an important program. So it's the momentum right now is really picking up.
So we are with the Massachusetts Academy of Trial Attorneys. They are our guests today. We are discussing the important objectives and goals that this organization has. And we're here with Paul Dullea, who's the executive director, and with Tim Kelleher, who is the president. What would schools have to do? What would it take for them to come, have some of your organization members to present this to their school?
Well, they can reach out to Matta anytime. They can call us, and we will line it up right away. They can get us on our website too.
massacademy.com or info@massacademy.com.
Very good.
Yeah. And if they reach out to us, we'll set it up. And one of the other benefits we've had is many of our members are reaching out to high schools, and they've been great.
So as an association academy, what are the benefits that you provide to your membership or and to other people in the community besides this important campaigns or important projects?
Well, Matta does so many things. One of the things is we represent our members and individuals and families up at the legislature. We go up and testify. We are involved in educational programs. We've expanded on our educational programs with the support of a number of members who really wanted to do that. And we educate our members on the new laws, changes in the law, trial practice, and many different areas. We have a mentoring program now where we have some really great lawyers who are helping young lawyers just starting out on all kinds of issues, not just the legal issues, but how to run a practice, how to deal with issues that come up when you're trying to run a practice. And that program is going great. That was started by Steve Korn and Rob Dullea, who have done a tremendous job. In addition, we have a lot of different events for our members where they get together and can socialize, talk about legal issues, and it's a really good organization. In terms of what do they do in the community, well, the first thing I should say is that we're fortunate because Matta is a large organization that represents plaintiffs, and it's made up of the best trial lawyers in the Commonwealth. Some of the lawyers that I get to work with, I used to read about. And to be serving as a president this year is a privilege for me, but to work with some of these lawyers who were so generous with their time and their commitment to help other lawyers and to help in the community is tremendous. And I'm talking about people who have, who are out there representing individuals and their family when they go through the hardest times in their lives. They help to get defective products off the market. They help to hold corporations accountable. They help families to be fairly compensated, and they bring about safety changes across the board. What they do is tremendous, and then to give all that extra time to MATA to help other members to get to the point where they can do that and try to make a difference in their communities is really what MATA is all about.
And what are some of the events or activities that the Academy has planned?
Well, we have our annual meeting actually coming up, and we'll be honoring Judge Conley, who is a well-known judge on the bench who has just stepped down and is now going to be a mediator. We're honoring Joel Feldman and his wife for creating this great program, Undistracted Driving. We're honoring Elena Quinn, who is a clerk in the courthouse, and Judge Tucker, who is a great and fair judge. And we will have probably 300-400 members there, judges there, and it will be a great gathering. We also have a lot of educational events, and then we follow up with a social event. I mean, some of the educational events have been incredible. The healthcare law changed. MATA was actively involved in working on language that would protect patients. And after that was done, the lawyers who were involved did a seminar for our membership to educate them on the changes. And that included Leo Boyle, Neil Sugarman, Kim Winters, Jeff Catalano. I mean, really, really great trial lawyers. And they helped to present it to all the members, and it was a great program. And we have a lot of programs like that, and then social events after, so people can get together.
We held that seminar, for one, we held, I think it was like the day after Superstorm Sandy. Half the people didn't even have electricity and still showed up for the seminar. So it was really something. And it's really a good example of how the organization can respond to the changing needs. So we do keep an eye on, changing laws and try to stay ahead of the curve.
Oh, and how do you pick what issues you're going to back or promote? For instance, the distracted driving. How did that come about?
That was the distracted driving effort is something that I really wanted to do, and it was really through Joel and his story and what happened. And I have 4 kids, so I see it. I live it, and I recognize what the problem is and wanted to bring about a change. And it was amazing when we presented this to our members and said, you know, will people step up and do this? We have a very long list of lawyers who have volunteered and who are willing to go out to the high schools and talk to the students and present this great program. So that's the way it started. But it's something now that has taken on a life of its own with our members, and they're terrific, and they're really, really doing a good job.
Great, so your membership has responded well, and it's a great service for the community. It's an issue that definitely touches everybody. And speaking of touching everybody, in terms of justice, what do you feel about justice? What are the issues that you feel like the justice system should touch upon, or the person should know about justice?
Well, what we see all the time, every year, especially up at the legislature, are bills that get filed that would take away the rights of individuals and would make it harder for people to use the civil justice system. And every year we're up there. We look at every bill, we read every bill, we write testimony, we go up and we testify. Our members volunteer to do that. We also are up there meeting with legislators quite often to talk about bills, to talk about whether the language can be changed and we can bring about a compromise. Because if we can, we will. And you know, I must say that we have found the legislators to be people who work very hard. Their staffs work very hard. They're trying to get it right. And we've been fortunate that they've listened to us. We've been able to meet with them. And we don't always agree, but I've been very impressed and thankful that they have allowed us to be part of the process. And that's been one of the main areas where we've had to deal with issues that affect our civil justice system. We've also been very supportive of the court system and I mean, it's underfunded. The people in the courts work very hard, the clerks, the judges, the staff, everybody there. They put in a tremendous effort every day. It's awful that there's not more funding for our court system, and we fight to try to help improve that by bringing more funding. But to me, it's inspiring and it's incredible the amount of work that the people do up at the courthouse and in the courts across the Commonwealth,
Right.
given the limited resources that they have. One of the other areas that we're focused on is trying to improve the jury selection process and creating a way to help attorneys find out more information as we put jurors on the jury. It's called voir dire.
Yes.
So that's another thing that we're promoting and trying to expand.
You believe in it. You believe in having the juror system.
Yes, absolutely. It's the best system in the world.
And how are you promoting that?
Well, one of the things that we're trying to do is we think that when you have a system in place and you're going to put people on a jury, there's a process called voir dire where you can ask them some general basic questions because you want an impartial and fair jury. And we're trying to expand on that a little bit. But I must tell you that our jury system is the best system in the world. It works, and it works very well. We're always trying to tweak it, improve it a little bit, but it's a great, great system.
And the better, we believe that the better experience somebody has as a juror, the more supportive they will be of the civil justice system.
Yes.
So that's why a well-informed juror and a juror that knows what they're getting into, and when both sides know, a little bit about the juror and why they're there, it's an incredible duty. And so we really, want people to take it seriously and to respect the process, because in that way it'll extend to some supporting the justice system overall.
And what are some things that the average person should know about the judicial system or the justice?
Well, one thing Tim alluded to is just how many different people go to work to make it happen. So it's like, it really is a team effort, from the judges to the court clerks to the staffers to the jurors and to the lawyers on both sides of a matter. In every court up and down the Commonwealth, there are a lot of people that have to sort of work together to make it happen. And we're really fortunate there's so much hard work that goes into it.
Yes, and Matt, organizations like yours just make the system a lot better and improve.
Thanks.
And tell me about do you provide education for your members, like lawyers and your continuing legal education, some of your objectives?
Yes, we, in addition to handling some of the programs like voir dire and the healthcare law changes, we've had a number of different seminars where we've tried to update the members on new changes in the law, but also so many of our members have taken time to educate our younger members on trial tips and things that they've learned along the way. And it's great to see. They're well attended. One of the things we did this year that was really interesting, we did it for the first time, is we had a joint event with the Defense Lawyers Association.
Oh.
And it was tremendous. We had 5 lawyers present on behalf of the plaintiff's side and 5 on the defense
And the
side.
lineup was amazing.
The lineup was amazing. They were quick hits. And then we had a big social event together.
Oh, that's
So
Yeah.
it was terrific.
So people on different sides of a matter, every once in a while can come together. It doesn't matter if they're on different sides of the case. They, we see these people, and some of them we went to law school with and things like that. So it's nice that we can, pull programs like that together from every now and then.
Unfortunately, we're running out of time, although there's a lot to talk about, like
sure
whether you would you recommend you like being a lawyer and you recommend other people being a lawyer. Quick,
Absolutely.
yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But we ran out of time, and thank you very much for
Thank you.
Thank you for
donating your
having
time
us.
on
It's a
this
lot of
and
fun.
educating the public and making it friendly for everyone, and to let them know where can they reach the Massachusetts Academy of Trial Attorneys.
Just go to our website. It's massacademy.com. We also have a Twitter account, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're technologically savvy, so check us out.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
for the public, thank you so much for watching. This is Discovering the Law. We can view this program at www.discoveringthelaw.com. And We hope to see you next time. My name is Lucy Rivera, and I am your host today.